more days and I'll finally be able to shave and get this fixed. Oh my God. I don't mind having hair on my face, but I don't want hair on my face. And this bet that I made, which has cost me about a month and a half of agony, is just, I'm glad that it's coming to an end. But whatever, we're not here to talk about the hair on my face. We are here to talk about Ma Rainey's Black Bottom, which is a new film, biopic of sorts that is now streaming on Netflix. This is a film that's directed by George C. Wolfe. It is based on a play by August Wilson. It's a film that stars Viola Davis and Chadwick Boseman. Unfortunately, in his final film appearance, Chadwick Boseman passed away a couple of months ago due to colon cancer. Fortunately, he died while this film was in post-production. So this is his last film appearance. It also stars Coleman Domingo, among other people. This story is set in the 1920s, 1927 to be exact, and it follows a recording session by Ma Rainey and the rest of her band. Basically have this band of musicians and maybe a producer and maybe a manager, and they're all in this building and they're trying to get through this recording session. There's a list of songs that they're going through and they're trying to get recorded. And so during the course of this recording session, tensions rise, and then there becomes sort of a battle over the direction of the music and where it should go. Along the way, there's some personal revelations and some intense stuff that I can't really get into because they would be spoilers, and that is basically the movie that you are signing up to watch. It's not really a biopic, it's just one moment captured in time in 1927. So obviously this movie is gonna have a different level of emotion to it because Chadwick Boseman has passed away, and Chadwick Boseman was such a huge deal for everybody, including me. This was such a talented actor, so versatile in the roles that he did, but more importantly, it's the way that he touched so many people's lives, the way he inspired so many different people. When he passed away, that hit everybody a little bit different. I'm not gonna lie, Chadwick Boseman's death affected me to the point that for a few days, I didn't even really want to talk to anybody. And as far as like rewatching some of his past films, like especially Black Panther, it took me like a couple of months to actually get back in the mood to watch Black Panther. I didn't even want to address this situation with nobody because I didn't want to believe it was real. But being that this is his last performance and it has one of my favorite actresses in it, and because the trailer was straight fire, I had to check this thing out. And what I can say is that this film is well directed, it has good production design, it has excellent costume design, it has great music, as you would expect, being that it focuses on Ma Rainey, the acclaimed Queen of Blues, which is the role that Viola Davis is playing in this movie. But the one thing you walk away from this movie going is, goddamn, the people in this movie can act their asses off. Viola Davis is obviously, I don't have to tell you how great Viola Davis is. You should already know how great Viola Davis is. And if you don't know how great she is, you better ask somebody. The woman is a powerhouse in this movie. She is an absolute firecracker. She has such a controlled fury in a lot of her scenes in this movie. I don't know that much about Ma Rainey as a person, her personality or whatever, but I'm assuming that Viola Davis got that shit down pat. Even if she didn't, I don't really care. She was relentlessly entertaining in this movie. She has such a command and such a presence. All them damn awards need to be looking at Viola Davis and being like, yeah, Golden Globe, here you go. Oh, Oscar, yeah, that's for you. Same goes for Chadwick Boseman. I feel like both of them carried this movie on their spinal cords. This movie, he's actually kind of the source of the tension of a lot of the things that are going on in this building during this recording session. His character has a lot of layers to him. He's kind of a very flawed human being. At the same time, you can see the charisma and the passion shining through with Chadwick's performance, the kind of performance and the type of character that attracts and repels. You know, it's one of those things where you're like, oh my God, why is he this way? But then all of a sudden he'd be saying some shit and you'd be like, yo, you know what? This motherfucker's spitting. He that's a good point. Also, as a black man, there are some things that they touch on in this movie that definitely speak a lot to me, like living in today. There's kind of a little bit of a new black versus old black type of thing going on in this movie. The conversations that arise out of some of the topics that they touch on, some of the struggles and some of the issues for black people living in America, black people dealing with the racism from their white superiors in America, like a lot of that is kind of touched on and focused on through different stories and different conversations in this movie. And I gotta say, I appreciated a lot of it, and I loved how beautifully most of that subtext was handled. I'm gonna have an issue with this movie that sounds kind of stupid. In fact, I'm hearing myself say it in my head, and it sounds fucking dumb. If you just bear with me for a second, I think it's gonna make sense. See, one of my complaints / nitpicks about this movie is that it kind of feels like a stage play. Before you crush me in the comment section, just hear me out, okay? I know that this movie is based on a play by August Wilson. I know that. I get it. My thing is, this is a movie. This is an adaptation of that play brought into a cinematic experience. And so for me, I just feel like the way that the shots were helmed in this movie with a lot of long scenes, long takes where characters are just kind of talking endlessly or telling stories and stuff like that. For me, I don't know, I just wish the movie was shot and cut a little bit differently to make it feel a little bit more like a movie instead of like, you know, a stage play that happens to be in a movie. It's weird, and I'm probably the only one that's gonna feel like this, but it does affect some of the pacing for me in the movie. It does make the movie feel a little bit longer. Another issue that I have is also one that probably you could chalk up to a nitpick, but it is legit for me, and it's the fact that the movie just kind of ends, and there are some unresolved things in the movie that weren't resolved for me. Again, I didn't see the play, so this is probably how they ended it in the play, and I'm not bitching at them if they wanted to be very faithful to that. Like, I totally get it. For me, I was just sitting there, and then the movie just ends, and I was just like, wait, what about this? What about that? What about, are we gonna have answers to these? No, it's just over? I was just sitting there and then it ended and I was just like, well, it's time to finish Queen's Gambit because I haven't finished Queen's Gambit yet and I should probably do a review for Queen's Gambit. To be honest, if it weren't for their performances elevating this material, I don't know that I'd feel that interested in watching this movie, and unfortunately that factors into my rating for it. But Ma Rainey's Black Bottom was still a damn good movie with excellent performances, and it belongs in the Silver Age for Man of Steel. The last performance for Chadwick Boseman. Did he kill it? Have you seen him better? What's your favorite performance from him? Put that in the comment section down below. Please like and subscribe to the Superfan Show, and as always, if you like what you see, tell me how you feel and stay tuned to hear more from the Man of Steel. Peace.